I am Nick Shell, the living legend of hair loss, your personal hairline hero, and the face of the franchise of hair loss. And I have a question for you. Are you a loser? How can you know if you are a loser? Well, you have to ask yourself. You can't expect someone else to give you a valid explanation of whether you're a loser or not. That's up for you to decide. If you believe you're a loser, you are. The good news is you can morph out of that identity and no longer become a loser. One of the things that I have always said on this channel is anything you believe is true, ... in your mind. Go ahead, go on my channel, type in the search box and type that in there. Anything you believe is true in your mind. And you'll see multiple videos that pop up. I put that as the title of at least one, if not two. Anything you believe is true in your mind. So many of my viewers, again, addicted to pornography, they've never actually shaved their head before, but they're fearing so much that they won't be liked by people if they lose their hair, that they're in this victim mentality, that they believe that they will not have human worth to the same level if they don't have their hair. Meanwhile, somebody like me who refuses to see myself as a victim, I only see myself as victorious, because again, anything you believe in your mind is true. Anything you believe is true in your mind if you believe it. So I believe I'm able to figure out a solution and to overcome something through my own action. I'm not a victim. And by default, that means I'm not a loser. But ideally, if you ask me what is a loser is someone who cannot believe in themselves. They give power to other people over themselves. And it goes back to, again, this list I always remind you of. You want to be attractive? You have to be these things. This is how you're being judged. And being confident is number one. But a victim mentality is going to say, well, Nick, I can't be confident because I don't have hair. If I had hair, then I'd be confident. But it's funny, even then, even if you had hair, chances are you'd find something else. You're not tall enough. Your skin's too light. Whatever the thing is, you would find the thing because ultimately you're not confident from within. So what I want to tell you, as you all know, I'm loving Cobra Kai, and I love the complexity of the characters. And it's a lot like Spy vs. Spy, that when you look at the two main lead characters, Johnny and Daniel, neither of them are perfect people. They both are very flawed, very much of a yin-yang situation. But I definitely just love the character of Johnny, as he's the sensei of Cobra Kai, in that ultimately he recruits these people who ultimately see themselves as losers. And as he is starting the class with them, he says, look, you're here because you're a loser and because people say that you're a loser. But ultimately what you see over time is he helps them realize that you don't have to remain a loser if you think you are. You get to decide that. If you remain a victim, the victim mentality, then you continue to not be good enough. But if you decide within, wait, I can change this myself, I can do something different, then I don't have to be a loser anymore. And so that's one of the things that's great about that show. You get to see these people who, quote, were losers when they started this class, and then they gain confidence. They have these character arcs, and they learn to focus on what they can control and not on what they can't. Now, do I see my viewers as losers? Absolutely not. What I do see is a lot of people who are not confident in themselves and refuse to actually change anything. And that's, as far as masculine qualities, being decisive and taking action is definitely on the list I keep showing you. So the question becomes, what do you do about it? What are you going to do about this? And I keep reminding you, if you feel that you're a loser, and again, I'm not telling you you are. I want to tell you that you're not a loser specifically, but something exists called identity protective cognition. Whereas if someone starts telling you the opposite of what you believe and it's a big part of your identity, then you, out of rebellion, start trying to prove that person wrong. So I'm not here to tell you that you're a loser or not. I'm here to tell you that if you think you are, and again, that would be your truth, because anything you believe in your mind is true. If that's what you believe, I'm telling you there's a way out. So in regards to hair loss and fearing hair loss and not being attractive because of hair loss, what is the first step? And this is part of my new campaign. What is the first step? Who can answer? Sneaky Cheese? Who wants to answer? All my regulars, go ahead and put in the comments. What's the first step if you want to overcome your fear of hair loss? The first step is to get pornography out of your life, because that is like you allowing yourself to become sexually assaulted, and it destroys your confidence. That has to go. That's the first step. The second step is to shave off all of your hair, or at least half of it, but ideally all of it. Face your fears. A number 3 guard? Okay, fine. A number 2, a number 1, 0, fine. Shave it off. That's step 1. You have to take action. If you see yourself as a loser and you don't want to be, you have to be the one to change your own mind, and you're going to have to take some action in order to do that. So those are the first steps. Get rid of the porn. Number 2, shave your head. Number 3, you've been putting it off. Watch the video in the description. Listen to me go through the 5 questions you need to ask yourself to determine if you're going to go bald. Then very carefully study this list and accept in your heart that society is not judging you on your hair. They're judging you on these things. This is what actually makes you attractive. This is the reason why there's guys who are 20 years old and they can grow 0 hair on top. But then you look at the girl they're dating like, how did he end up with her? That's how. The things on this list. That 20-year-old bald guy has this figured out. Meanwhile, the 27-year-old who has more hair than me has a lot less confidence in himself, because you either choose to be victorious or by default you become the victim. So ultimately, what makes a loser? I'd say someone who sees themselves as a victim instead of someone who's able to take matters into their own hands. So again, I do not believe my viewers are losers. What I do believe is if you believe you're a loser, you have the power and ability to stop being that way and turn into a better version of yourself. There's a saying, hey man, don't change, just stay the same, man. Just be yourself, man. Be who you are. And that is not my philosophy. Not at all. I'm saying don't be yourself. If you don't like who you are, stop being yourself. Become a better version of yourself. And it requires action in order to do that. I've explained what the actions are in order to do that. Ultimately, I am your sensei. I'm like your sensei Johnny on Cobra Kai. And I want to take you and make you a better version of yourself, because I do not see you as a loser. I see your potential. Only about 3% of people actually accept my help in these videos, and I know that. So I guess ultimately, this is for the 3% of you who are about to make some good, positive changes in your life. Comments are right here.